Hi y'all, it's Pam at Pink Dragonfly Wings, and I'm going to try a little something new. I have seen I do a lot of watching on YouTube and da 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 da, and so I have seen lots of people do like series of things. And so, since I am so fascinated with book pages and using them and finding ways to use them, I think I'm going to do a little series on using book pages for our junk journals, for ephemera and things like that. So, this is going to be, I know I've done a few episodes with book pages, but this is going to be our first one in this little series. And I'm just going to, I don't know, using up book pages. And I'll make a playlist and we'll have it and they'll all be in one place. And hopefully that'll be cool and all will be right and well with the world. So, what we're going to do today is I was playing around and made some little bookmarks. Well, they're not bookmarks, they're tags. And I thought, okay, well, this one is made up of these little things that we cut off at the bottom or around our pages when we just want text. And so that's what those are. So it's a really cool porous kind of paper, and it really takes this ink really nicely. And then this one is made with just little pieces of strips that I've cut from other scraps that I have in my nubbin bucket. And they have the words on them. And so I have a couple of journals in mine. And so I'm going to kind of stick with the pinky purpley kind of theme for these for today. And so let's get started. Let's see how this works. So what we're going to do is first I have my ink. And let me get my little inky thingy. Yeah, that's pink in it. Yeah, that's pink. And that one's purple. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to do this one. I don't know. I guess they're the same size, so it doesn't really make any difference. These are just some scraps I had in my stash, so we'll just use these. And what I'm going to do is I have 6 colors here of shaded pinks and purples of Distress Oxide ink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here, and I'm going to do one of each, because I'm going to do one with plain, one with words. So that's what we're going to start with. So we're going to start with our lightest colored pink, and this is Tattered Rose. It is Distress ink. And what we're going to do is we're just going to solidly color this little strip with our ink, and I'm going to make it pretty dark. And there is a reason for that. In a minute, you'll see. And I will go ahead and, looks like I probably need to re-ink this one. It's getting a little dry, but that's all right. That's all right. I think that because of time that I need before I spritz these, I'm going to wait and do these again in a minute because I don't want the ink to dry too much before. So we're going to do that. So we're going to start with that one. We'll get our next one. This is Worn Lipstick. Oops, I have 2 of those there. So we'll go ahead and do this one. And like I said, this is Worn Lipstick. And I have a book page under here that's going to have all the ink spreads and extras. And when I get through with this, then I can use this for some kind of backing or a tag or, whatever we decide we want to do. So there's that one, just a tad darker. The next one is Picked Raspberry. Little darker still. I think this one is my favorite ink. I just like this one. It's so cool. And I'm just kind of rubbing this around here. I don't want it in circles or anything. I want it to, and I tried spraying them, but I never really could get them solid enough to do what I wanted them to do. So this is the best thing I've had. So put the pink one down. Let's get the purple. This is Shaded Lilac, which is a beautiful shade of purple. And you could use any colors on here, you know, as you saw on the other one that I made. I used greens and blues and oranges and yellows and all of that kind of stuff. So there you go. You can make them whatever color you want to make them. This is Seedless Preserves, and these are just the inks that I had, so I didn't buy anything specifically for this project. So and these Tim Holtz Distress inks are not supposed to go from one pad to the other, and they do a little bit, I have found. You know, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or something, but they do a little bit, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. So, and then this last one is Wilted Violet. And this is our dark purple. And they have a really pretty Villainous Potion, I think is the name of it or something. But I don't have that one. So this is all I have. So that's what we're going to use. Alrighty, so there we have all of our strips inked up and ready to go. Let me put that over there. I'll use it again in a minute. Put those back. We'll get this one. Okay, we're going to start at the bottom, and I want the darkest at the bottom. So we're going to start down here, and I am going to just glue these on. And I'm using Art Glitter Glue on here. So we're just going to, here, let's turn this over, put that on here, and I'm just going to even it up at the bottom. I'm going to cut this off so it doesn't really matter that much. There we go. And let's see, how about we glue this? That might work a little better. Might go a little faster as well. So there we go. Alrighty, alrighty. Now then, we'll put our, I think that was Seedless Preserves. This is our Shaded Lilac. And I don't know why I can't keep from getting it in the glue. I don't want it in the glue. Then we go to our Picked Raspberry. Our Worn Lipstick. That's really a pretty shaded tag. And then our last one is our Tattered Rose. Okay. And that one, that tag is not as big as the other one was, but I think that one will be plenty big. So what we're going to do is we're going to just trim it off, all of the spots that are hanging over. So we'll cut that off and save that for a little tag later. Turn this over this way, and we're just going to trim this right along the edge. Turn this one over and trim it right along the edge. And this is kind of a quick process that needs to be done, and I'm going to put these in my nubbin bucket because who knows when you might need a little pink or purple square. Now, this is the cool part. And let me get a napkin here. And while the ink is still wet, we don't want it to be completely dry. We're going to spray some water on it. And we're just going to spray it on here in little droplets. and we're going to leave it for just a minute or two. I'm going to take my napkin and lay it right across and soak up some of that. And I hope that you can see the effect that's on this. It looks like little raindrops. I hope you can see that. And it's just so cool. Such a cool effect. So that water, because these inks are water reactive, that ink is still wet just enough to react with this water. And so we want to, I'm going to see if I can get just a little bit more on this purple one here. Just a little. There you go. And then I'm going to get my heat tool and dry it just enough that all of this is going to be permanent. All right, there we go. Now then, I think that'll be dry enough. Make sure this is not wet. Okay. And we want to go ahead and round our edges. So I'm going to, I think I'll use a little fancy one up here at the top, on the top thing, and make it kind of special. And then we can use the rounded one on the bottom. And I like to round the bottoms. I say I do. I like to. Sometimes I forget. But I like it because it seems to make the pocket go down in, make the tag go down into the pocket a little bit better to me. Probably in my imagination. But there we go. My imagination is my imagination, and I like it there. So there we go. We have that. Now on the back, I don't do white stuff very well. So I'm going to get my pink, and we're going to kind of just circle around and make it look kind of cloudy and kind of wispy. And I make sure to go around the edges pretty good, just so that I can make sure that this little edge right here, as this dauber comes across there, it puts an extra little bit of ink on there. And you can see that, and it just, I just kind of like it that way. I think it looks kind of cool. And then we certainly do not want to, now then, I don't want it colored solid like the front. And then what did I do? Here it is. Here's my purple one. So we're just going to come back and put just a little purple in it, because we want it to all blend together. There we go. And then I think that I will get the darkest purple here, the wilted violet, and I'm going to ink around the edges. I don't usually ink in color. I usually use brown or black. Vintage Photo is my favorite. I will sometimes use black soot, but sometimes black is just so stark, especially if you're using white paper, that it kind of is overwhelming to me. But I thought, well, since we're making this one to go in a specific pink or purple journal, why not go all out? Let's just go all out. And there we go. Now we have our little tag. Now I'm not going to decorate this per se. I've done this part, but I'm not going to decorate it because I want to be able to decorate it using some of the same things that I'm using in the journal so that it all blends together. These are going to be the colors, but as far as specific tags or specific laces or things like that that I will eventually put on this. And you can do anything you want to. I have bouquets of lace here, and you could run it You could run it down the side here, and that would make it very pretty. But if I'm not using this kind of lace in my journal, maybe I don't want to use this lace. So I don't want it to be stuck on here and then limit me as to where I can use this tag. So I just want you to know how to make it. I want you to make your own and decorate it the way you want it decorated. But is that not cute? Cute, cute. All right, so we're going to put this one aside. We're going to get our little text things here. We're going to do the same thing. Put those over there. We may use those again. And we're going to do the same thing. And I'm just going to, like I said, the only reason that I didn't do them together is because I really needed this ink to still be wet. And I was afraid that by the time I inked all of these and inked all of these and then tried to go back, my ink would be too dry. So give it a try if you want to try that. That's cool. I have no problem. So I'm going to clean this off just a little bit. I have found that that works. I don't worry too much about light colors and then go into a dark color, but it is a little harder when you go from a dark color back to a light color. So I'm going to do this one, and we're going to see how this works. I'm going to take my glasses off so I can see this, because this paper is I had a book here a while back, and I spent the whole weekend one day, actually it was just one day, but coffee dyeing this book, and it really, the book was a little older, and it really took to the coffee dyeing, really took to the paper pretty good, and so it's pretty dark, but that's okay. I just want, and it made it really kind of fragile, so I have to be kind of careful with it, but I wanted to see how that was going to work. So here we go with our worn lipstick. I didn't know if it would be the paper with the coffee dyeing on it would be so dark. Uh-oh, tore off a little piece, but that's okay. That's okay. We're not going to panic. We're going to quit here before I tear this one completely apart. There we go. And then we will do our raspberry, our picked raspberry. This might also give a different effect if you're using the regular Distress inks and not the Distress Oxide. And I have both, but I have all this junk sitting over here in front of my little place where I keep my inks. And I have to move a bunch of junk to get to my regular ones. So I primarily use my Distress ones because it's just too much trouble. By the time I get it all unloaded and get to those inks, I forgot what I was going to do. So there we go. There's our pinks. Let's see. I had a purple one. Here it is. And we'll start with the purple. This is our shaded lilac. And that, oh, tearing off paper. I have to be careful. There we go. And now we'll get our Seedless Preserves, and this is a cool color, sort of a pinky purpley something or another. Okay, this one's going to be kind of iffy because it seemed to be kind of thin in the center, so be extra careful with this one. As long as I can get inked what I need to ink, that will be okay. Alright, there's that one. We'll put these over here. And our last one, which is our violet. No, yeah, it is. It's wilted violet. I'm not going to, well, I could use that one if I use that side. Okay. And I really like this water drop effect on the Distressed Oxide inks a little better than I do the regular inks. I don't know. It just, oh, I had one left over. It just gives a different effect, and I just kind of like it better. So put you over there so you don't get messed up, and we're going to grab you, and I don't know how you got so dirty already, but there you go. We're going to use our glue again. And sure we are. Wonder where my little pen went. You know, I spend half of my time. How did you get way over there? I spend half my time hunting for this little pen that goes on here. I put a little magnet up there and thought, oh, I'll just put it up there. It won't stay. So, there you go. There you go. The trials and tribulations of a junk journaler. Can't keep up with your pen. Can't keep up with your scissors. Can't keep up with your paper you were just working on or you just cut. So, you really shouldn't call it junk journaling. You should just call it journaling and hunting. So, alright, here we go. Let's make sure our words are right side up, although it really doesn't matter if they're right side up or not. There is a crease in this page, so, ooh, that one, that's the one I was worried about, but we're going to make it. We're going to put you together and leave you there. There we go. We'll get this one. Get the next one. And this one is our worn lipstick, I think. Oh man, that's alright, that's alright. We're going to glue you back together. No falling apart allowed in this room. There we go. We'll get this one. And this was our Tattered Rose. Okay, there we go. And I have a little bit of white space there where that one tore, so I'm going to try to cover that up right there. Okay. Doesn't really match, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we're going to cut this off real quick now. Turn this over on this side. We're going to cut the top. Turn it over. And it is a little inky on the back, but that's okay because we're going to put some more ink on it, so it doesn't matter. Have us some more little squares to go in our nubbin box. So we'll put you guys in here. So we don't throw away paper. No, we don't. Okay. So we're going to turn you over this way. And we're going to get our water bottle. And we're going to spray. Let it sit for just a minute. And get our napkin. We'll see how this one reacts with the water and the coffee paper. So, well, it's a little different than the other one because the other one was not coffee dyed. Okay. Awesome. You don't see the watermarks quite as much as we did on the other one, but I think it's because of the coffee dyed paper. And so put a little bit more on here, but it's kind of a cool effect. I don't know if you can see it in there very well, but it's really a cool effect. It's just a little darker. So we have this one. Here was the first one, and I think that, you know, it's just different, but it is showing through. You're seeing some of the splotches, and it's doing great. It's doing great. So, wonder how that one ended up. Oh, I guess because they were different pieces. Duh. Okay. So, what we're going to do is dry it just for a minute, just because it is a little moist. There's not a lot of water on it, but there is enough on there to make the paper kind of wonky if you're not careful. And drying it also makes those little splotches kind of come to the surface a little bit better. So you can see a few of them coming up. Now, I did not measure these. I found pages in my book, or in my nubbin bucket, my scrap bucket, and I just pulled them out and used them. So they don't have to be any particular size. They don't have to be any kind of particular paper. Just whatever you want to do. It could be plain white typing paper if that's what you have. Use that. It'll work. I did manage to get all the words in the same direction though, so that's a plus. Cut that, and we'll do the rounder on the bottom. And okay, now then, let's try. We did this one with the darker color, so let's try this one with maybe the lighter purple. Kind of get some of that ink out of there since we're going back to the light color. Put some of this on here. Still a little dark, but that's okay. That is quite okay. Go. It is a little darker, but the color itself is pretty light, so it should be okay. And then let's put some over here. And let's get our lightest pink, which is our Tattered Rose. And let's put some of this on here. Just enough to kind of add that blend. And we could go ahead and put a little bit of water on this and see how it does. Let's try it and see. Why not? Yeah, why not? This is experiment day. Every day is experiment day. Wipe up that water, but we just want to blot it. We don't want to swipe it, because then that's going to pull the water drops, and I want it to look like, oh my gosh, look at that. Is that not beautiful? That is so cool. I love it. I love it. So you may decide to use this side of the tag. I don't know, but that turned out so pretty. Now then, we need to ink it. And I think we did this one with purple, so let's do this one with our darkest pink. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And these will go in our, probably should have dried that just a little bit. It's still a little wet, but that's okay. And even though these are different, they blend. They look the same. They look close enough to the same to make them fit in the same journal. And again, I love that. Love how that turned out. So I'll have to remember that. I think I've let that one sit too long to do. But there we go. And then when we get through with this, we could put a little water on this and see what happens. We don't know. We'll see. Oh, let's see if we can get that off. There we go. Let it run. So then we've made a there we go. We don't want to ever throw away paper. We just make it look better. There we go. Let's put those out of the way. I don't want those any wetter than they already are. And I love when it does this little blending thing here and makes those little mountain peaks. It's just so cool. And then we'll put this aside. Yeah, I took my little mountain peak away. Should have left it alone. That's okay. We're going to set this aside and let it dry somewhere. Sure. And we have an extra piece that we can use for a background, a tag, a pocket, whatever you want to use it for. Okay, and it's already colored and decorated, so there you go. So there's our first one. There's our second one for today, and that's our episode 1. And these are our book page tags using Distress Oxide inks. So there you go. I hope you enjoy this. If you don't like this little series or you think of something different, please let me know. I don't want to keep making videos if y'all don't like them. So please let me know. And in the meantime, I'll work on whatever we're going to do next time. So if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. I would love for you to join us in our Pink Dragonfly Wings creative group. And, you know, when we get big enough, maybe, and I get smart enough, maybe I can branch out and we can have some things where we can be a little more interactive, and that would be great fun. So do that. If you get a minute, stop by my store. It's at www.pinkdragonflywings with a Z on the end.com. See what we have in there. And I will see you next time. But until next time, you be creative too. Bye-bye. Thanks again.